Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by the idea of changing your life? Like, you know you want to make a difference, but the thought of where to even start just makes your head spin. Maybe you sit down, get all motivated and write out this massive to-do list, pages and pages of things you want to fix or improve. You get pumped up, ready to tackle it all, but then, nothing actually gets done. The list just sits there staring back at you, and you feel stuck. Trust me, I've been there more times than I can count. Here's the thing that nobody really tells you. Those big, dramatic changes we dream about, they almost never stick. We see motivational speakers hyping up the idea of total transformation, but in reality, it's not about flipping your life upside down overnight. The real secret? Start with something so small it almost feels ridiculous. I mean, really make it tiny. Something you can do even on your worst day. It might sound silly, but that's exactly why it works. Let me give you a personal example. A couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to get healthier. I was tired of feeling sluggish and out of shape. My first instinct was to go all in. I told myself, all right, I'll run 5 miles every morning, eat only salads, meditate for 30 minutes, and read 5 books a month. It sounded impressive, right? But guess how long that lasted? About 2 days, maybe even less. I was exhausted just thinking about it, let alone actually doing it. The pressure of trying to do everything at once just wore me out. I felt like a failure before I'd even really started. So I decided to try something completely different. Instead of overhauling my entire life, I picked one super easy habit. Drink a glass of water right when I wake up. That's it. No running, no salads, no meditation marathons. It was so simple, I literally couldn't fail. There were no excuses, no complicated steps, just one glass of water. And here's the wild part. After just a few days, I started to feel good about myself. I was actually doing what I set out to do every single morning. I was nailing this tiny goal, and that little win gave me a sense of accomplishment. It was a small thing, but it mattered. That little win gave me momentum. Suddenly, I felt like I could do more. Adding a few push-ups after my glass of water didn't feel so hard anymore. It was just a natural next step. Reading a page or two of a book each day actually felt doable, instead of overwhelming. Over time, those tiny steps started to add up. Each small habit built on the last, and before I knew it, I was making real progress. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's just a little ball, but as it keeps moving, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and stronger. That's the power of small habits. They create a snowball effect that can change everything. When you start ridiculously small, you remove all the usual barriers. There's no room for excuses like, I don't have time, or I'm too tired. The task is so easy you can't talk yourself out of it. There's no more I'll do it later, or maybe tomorrow. You just do the thing, because it's too easy not to. And every time you do, you're proving to yourself that you can follow through, even if it's just in a small way. Researchers even have a name for this: the minimum viable effort. It means shrinking your goal down until it's impossible to say no. You make your goal so tiny, so manageable that you can't help but succeed. That's the key to building real, lasting habits. Want to start meditating? Don't aim for an hour, just sit quietly for 1 minute. That's all it takes to get started. Want to write more? Forget about finishing a whole chapter, just jot down 1 sentence. 1 sentence is enough to keep the habit alive. And here's the real magic. Once you start, you often keep going. That 1 minute of meditation might turn into 5. That 1 sentence might become a paragraph. Most days, after I drink my water, I think, hey, I'm already up. I might as well do 10 push-ups. It's like a chain reaction. You're building trust with yourself, proving that you can show up, even if it's just for a minute. That trust is the foundation for bigger changes down the road. Every small action is a vote for the person you want to become. Over time, those votes add up. So if you want to change your life, don't try to do everything at once. Pick one habit, make it easy, make it so small it feels almost silly. Find joy in the simplicity. Celebrate the small wins. They matter more than you think. Then do it, every day, no matter what. Watch what happens as those tiny steps start to add up. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles really does begin with a single tiny step. And every step you take brings you closer to the life you want. That first step might seem small, but it could be the one that changes everything. So start small, and let the power of tiny habits work for you.